Welcome to the top of the world.
Right, so next day, we've had a bit of a break in the weather. It's about -18 at the moment. Yesterday, I gassed out the entire building, trying to run it up and put yet another heat cycle through it. And caused a problem in the lower two levels of this floor because the exhaust piled straight down there and flooded out the cellars, which the chickens didn't appreciate very much. And this level, even with the door shut, it filtered all the way through. So I'm going to take it outside. Right, this is the first time it's moved in months under its own steam. This morning I've cleaned off all the dust. I was going to start cleaning up the paintwork, but I'm not going to do it until I've done this run. Now, it's chucking up two errors. One error is the water washer bottle has got no fluid in it, and I can't put no fluid in it because I haven't got the antifreeze stuff to go in it. And the other one is the headlight adjustable variant doodah. There's sensors on both axles. Well, where I've put new springs and shocks and sway bar and everything on the back, when I've let it down, you can see it's sitting high. It's sitting way high. That's what's set that off. So I'm hoping that's going to sort itself out. But anyway, we're going to open up the door and we're going to put it outside for a longer warm-up. Keys, Norman. Key. So the onboard temperature, as I rolled it out there, says -2. Because of the extreme cold we've had for so long, this building is now sitting at -2, -3 constantly with the underfloor heating on. It's just, I don't really know what to tell you other than it's been extreme for weeks. And the cold is in the concrete. I've said in the last video, I've got ice on the inside of the furnace room below ground. It's just, yeah, it's really been extreme. Right, we're going to leave that sitting there for a bit and then we'll roll it a little way and see how it drives, I guess. I've got to take it on a series of longer tests, but I couldn't run it up for very long in here, or I did, but like I say, I gassed out the building, so I want to give it an hour of sitting, warming, drive it for a bit. It's not ideal temperatures out there at -18, but I can't do it in here. Yeah, I know, it looks like a lovely day. There you go, that's warm. That is. You can see it needs a lot of cleaning up. I'm going to assume that's going to sit down a bit because I haven't lifted anything, it's just new. And yeah, I have got it rigged ready for cameras. So, we'll see. I've also been cleaning the mats this morning. We've just come from inside, so it's going to be a bit brake pedals a bit spongy because we've done all the brakes. So it's showing that because it's got no fluid. It should chuck up the headlight warning as well. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Right, everything's warmed up. We're just gonna ease her out and see what's what. I can tell you the heating works just fine. Let's turn that off for a minute. There. Right. Let's see where we are then. Now this is wobbly. Right, I got a window sucker so that I can place it on the opposite window over there, but the window's frozen and I've got my big boots on and there ain't a lot of room between the throttle and the brake. Anyway, we'll just get all the power steering and everything fully functional because we've had all that apart, drained the oil and filled it back up. Right, let's take it down the road then, see what's what. There's a lot of vibrations, but it's hard to know what that is because we're driving on ice. So that's the scene of the accident. That's where my friend disappeared his car into the ice. Don't do that any good. Okay, the temperature has come up a little higher. Oh no, it's just gone back down than it was. It's rolled off through the village. I don't go too far, not further than we can walk quite quickly or get the car back in a rush. turn off traction control. Try that. Oh yeah. That's how you turn on traction control. Okay, we took it for a nice gentle drive and then I gave it a little bit of abuse and the fan, the electric fan came on and kicked off as it should do, did what it should do. I can smell hot oil. I can smell hot oil. Let me get you in here. Well, it's not sat up, it's sat down a bit better. Right, it's probably where it should be. And the headlight adjustment warning light has gone off. So I got, right, okay. Didn't smell so bad, so maybe it was just things burning off. Water level's good. Brake level's the same as it was. No point checking the oil. Everything says it's good. Good to go. So yeah, I think we need to take it on a longer road trip now. And the tyres actually did a lot better than I thought. So, you know, I squeezed hard into that throttle once or twice. What I can tell you is, do you know, I don't know what that is running. There's a bit of controversy about this particular car for some reason. Wasn't meant to. It was really cheap when I bought it because it was not working very well. The gearbox was broke. There was lots of things broke with it. And even now, there's no entertainment system inside. Except I'm about to put my dirty boots in a nice clean car. Right, that's what we got to get out. To get it out, you need 4 keys that look like that. Alright, and they're 4 flat bits of metal, and depending on which one you can get, some look like that. I'm drawing this whilst looking through the camera, and some look like, well, they have different keys on it. But anyway, so you want 4 of these thin bits of metal to go into a slot. They push past the thing that holds it in place. So there's some kind of spring clip that holds it in place. They push past that and push these in and allows you to pull the whole thing out. Not quite sure how they work, but I do know the radio keys look like that. So we want something quite thin like that. 4 thin bits of metal that would look something similar to that. So I'm just going to start here, and then we'll have to move on to other areas, because I don't think no. Well, they don't look dissimilar to what I've just drawn, do they? I don't suppose for 1 minute you can you? Can't be that simple, can it? Well, it can't be complicated, because, you know, can't be. Okay. And now I believe one goes in there, one goes underneath there, one goes underneath there, and one goes in there. That's what I'm led to believe. Anyway, oh, it does. Does it click? How do you know? How do you know when that's in there? I don't know. I think that one might be a bit fat to go in there. Okay, that's all 4 of those blades in there. Oh, I'm genius. Genius, Simon. Genius, genius, genius. Well, who would have thought? There we go. So you didn't need all these special tools. You just need 4 jigsaw blades, right, and a basic understanding. And you just feel your way in, and out it comes. All right. Wow, somebody's been in here before. Looks like I've been in here before, if I'm honest. What is that all about? Definitely looks like I was in there. Right, well, we've got that out now, so we can disconnect it. And Right. That's that great big lump out. And what I've got here does not look like anything I've seen before. Right, and then we've got this household electrical connection going on there. I don't know what that is. And that's what we got left. So we can fix the cup holder now and then work out all these different things here, because we've got to connect something else into all that works. So, do I need a radio? No, I don't listen to the radio. And even if I did have a radio, I wouldn't understand what was going on. So we don't need a radio. So when we was pushing this in here, you're looking to pull that in. Like that. Yeah. Anyway, class 1 laser product, really. Right, here's our wiring diagram here. So if we need to use that, we can. Something new. A user manual. That's going to be useful. Conversion kit specifically for the Audi. Many other types of wires and plugs, and we don't know what any of that is. And then this. So this is our upgrade. This is what came out. And that is what is going in. The first thing you'll notice is it's still sat on its German plates. And when I say it's still sat, we're now mid-May, okay? We started this project in October. Well, actually, it started last June, 11 months ago. Or was it July? Anyway, 10 months ago. So all the way through the winter, we rebuilt the rear end, all the brakes, all round, suspension. We've rebuilt the engine, top end, front end, with new fluids. Everything is woken up from its 20 years in storage. And then we had the saga of the wheels and the spacers, and yeah, traumatic. Okay. I was hoping this would go for its final inspection. So when you import a vehicle, firstly you have to do the paperwork side of it. All right, we'll get into that. And then after the paperwork side of it, you have to do the physical inspection and the safety inspection. Then you get your number plates issued, your new registration number, and you're away to go. It's pretty much the same in, around the world. It's that kind of paperwork, physical inspection, new paperwork, plates. Hey, right, so I don't know how many times I've mentioned this. So the paperwork exercise was an absolute nightmare. And there's 2 reasons behind it being a nightmare. Firstly, I'm going to be thoughtful about what I say about the Swedes, because they're my fellow people, right? Okay, I've thought about it. They never, ever, 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 ever give you the whole picture. Even when you ask specifically, do they ever give you the whole picture? If you ask a question, they'll give you a very basic answer. They will never fill you in with details. They'll never give you more information than they think that you would need or that would answer the question. That made the process much, much harder than it needed to be. So we already know this is a development car, this specific car. And therefore, any paperwork attached to it could be more complicated than normal. And in Germany, you have 3 sets of paperwork. You have the registration document, you have the documents you're supposed to carry on you, and then if the car is modified, changed, altered, anything, you have an additional data sheet. And I didn't have this additional data sheet. And the Swedish transport company told me that I was missing this additional data sheet. It took weeks just to establish what this data sheet held on it, right? And nobody could tell me where I got it from. In Germany, cars are registered by region, which I didn't know, and there are numerous regions, 12 I think in Germany, and you have to find, in order to get any information on a vehicle, you have to be at that region. Another thing that I didn't know and nobody told me was the region that the car is registered to is dictated by the first 3 letters on the registration number. Once you've established that, which took weeks to do, you then spend some time studying a map of Germany and find the town that starts with the first 3 letters. You then contact that region and ask for the data sheet. And when you ask the Germans, 24 hours later, it's there on your computer. Right, this is what I'm missing for this car. Oh, there it is. And then you give that sheet to the Swedish transport company. 24 hours later, you're fully approved. So, could I have achieved in 48 hours what took 5 weeks? Yeah, absolutely. Because the Swedish transport company, they deal with imports. Right? The department I was dealing with, they specialise in importing cars. Germany is a big one where cars are imported through. You'd think they'd know, wouldn't you? You'd think they'd know. And so, oh, you need to contact this, or this, or this, or this is where you get it from. Right? But they kept pointing me back to the central registration, central government registration. They don't deal with the paperwork. They don't even reply to your telephone calls or emails. They don't. Go to the region where the car is registered, bang, they're all over it like a bad rash. We have our paperwork. We have our paperwork. We're ready for physical inspection. I was expecting to be ready for physical inspection March, April at the latest. That's why we went to all the trouble of fitting these winter tyres with the studs and the spacers, blah, 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 blah. Way past that now. It's now illegal to be driving on studs in Sweden. Okay. Wheels. So then I've got no summer tyres. I've only got winter tyres. The car only came with 1 set of wheels and they had winter tyres on. So we're into this whole, I now need tyres. And the tyres are 17 inch, right? Can you en masse buy tyres now, here in Sweden or in Europe at 17 inch? No, en masse they start 18 inch. Could I buy the tyre? No, okay. Now we're into the scenario of tyres, wheels, mounting, weights, blah, 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 blah. We went through all this, took me weeks. And then, if you live in America land, right, the good old United States of America, how you buy wheels and tyres is by the set. You don't have to, but it's better if you're buying wheels and tyres to buy them as a set with all the weights balanced, it arrives, you just bolt them on. I don't think you could do that in Sweden. No, you can. You can. There are a couple of companies, and I had my favourite. So then there's if you've got to buy wheels and tyres, is the reason. I'm ranting, right? I don't understand how to buy a set of wheels and a set of tyres fully balanced with the right kit is cheaper than buying a set of wheels and a set of tyres. I don't know why. It's cheaper to buy them as a set. And if you don't, and you have to pay for balancing it, but the cost is cheaper than actually taking delivery of a set of wheels and a set of tyres, then going and getting them married up, and then all the problems with that, right? The damage. And so I had decided, because of the... Do you even know about the scrap run? Anyway, I had decided that I was going to buy a new set of wheels and tyres for this, new summer tyres, new summer wheels. Well, that puts you into a different realm, right? Because then you're choosing wheels, which is a personal thing, as my brother repeatedly told me. And I know what I wanted the car to look like. So, cutting even a more boring story, much shorter, sat right there is a brand spanking new set of wheels and tyres for this car. Should they have been delivered a month ago? Yes. Because I ordered them a month ago, and I ordered tyres and wheels, right, very specific to this car because of the... And they were in stock. No, they weren't in stock. I also had to order a very specific size and offset and all of this stuff for this car according to the manufacturer's guidelines and the wheels I had. Has what has arrived what I ordered? No. No. So I'm a month late on my wheels and tyres. Are they what I ordered? No. The wheels are exactly what I ordered, and so are the tyres. There is a very crucial measurement, right, that I ordered very specific to this model with regards to an offset, right? Some of you are glazing over about now already. They're not it. So, even though I'm so excited when I saw them under the canopy, when we arrived back from an incredibly long trip yesterday in the van, right, which is what this car's supposed to solve, this. So this is what we have, right? And just about every car in Europe has silver alloy wheels, 4, 5 or 6 spoke, right? All of them. Hey, bud. That's what I don't want. That's what I didn't want. I don't like it. Didn't want it. I wanted something very different. Ta-da! Never in my life have I bought a brand new set of wheels and tyres. Ever. Okay, the great reveal. What have you bought for this car, Simon? That. That, exactly. It's not exactly what I wanted. What I wanted was solid disc aluminium wheels, like on the Bugatti. That's what I wanted. That is as near as I could find. Do I like the centre cap? No. Centre cap's got to go. I like everything else. Fits. It does fit. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I can't even tell you how happy I am. And it pushes the wheel back under the arch. Oh, amazing. So, what I've had to do, in order to get the same size diameter, when you order an 18-inch wheel, you have to reduce the tyre size. So if you can imagine, that would have been an extra inch bigger, that wouldn't have gone on. Right, there is no room in the back of here for it to go on. So that's why you've got to keep the same diameter. I don't know, I've seen big wheels on these cars, I don't know how they do it, but you can't, there's no clearance in there. On the back, on the suspension legs and arms. And we don't know for sure that it can turn without hitting anything. So before I put the other front one on, we should try that. So to be clear, I've not modified anything here. I've just unmodified it by taking the spacer and the bolt conversion, which is a spacer and bolt conversion, because those wheels did not fit. So we're back to the manufacturer's standards, and we're the same diameter as the original wheel and tyre, which is over there. Exactly the same. What we've had to do is increase the size of the wheel and decrease the size of the tyre. Is that a good idea, given the kind of roads that I drive on? No, not really. admit, right, that looks like we could put something a lot bigger in there, and yeah, we could, except it's sitting exceptionally higher than it was because we've added all the new rear suspension, and I haven't put any weight in it yet, and it's sat high. It wasn't high before I fitted the new stuff, which is standard, right? There's nothing extra special about what I put on here, but it is sitting high compared to what it was, and yeah, it looks like you could put something bigger in here until you start looking at this here. Okay, so once that sits down, that will fill the hole and be fine.